Hey y'all, Choice here. Thank you so very much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Hey look, I just want a quick reminder where I try to bring you a little truth beyond perception, what we believe we see, what we believe is going on around us, that's our perception. What our senses are picking up from what we perceive to be our external world. Our external world is what we say it is, based on what we believe we feel, based on what we believe we see, based on what we believe we hear, taste, smell, and many other senses. There's more than the 5 senses, 6 senses, 7 senses. As I mentioned before in one of my other videos, there are more than those. There's senses throughout the body. There's senses that they haven't even discovered yet. Our body senses where we are on the planet. Our body senses north from south, east from west. Our body senses everything. So it's more than the 5 senses, in addition to that intuitive sense, which is all within. It's all within the intuition. Okay? But with that said, our emotions, our feelings, is are indicators. They're indicators. And the way that we feel, the way that we think and feel, the thinking and the feeling creates the emotion, is what moves things, okay? The feeling with the thought is what moves everything. So how we are moving with our feeling, how we are thinking with our feelings, is what dictates and manifests, calls forth everything that we perceive, everything that is going on in our life. Your emotions, your feelings determines your life. You know, we heard it before. You know, if you're walking around and you're thinking it's kind of stinking, you know, you're going to have basically some type of life, right? To each his own. That may be of interest. So we cannot judge. Everyone to each his own. If there's no judgment here. It's your prerogative. Your prerogative, as Bobby Brown used to say. It's your prerogative. You have every right. But here's a reminder. Your emotional state creates what type of environment you live in. It creates the people you run into. It creates your living condition. And someone might say, nah, yeah, you can be in the same condition, but having a whole new, different experience from someone that may be living in the same condition. You know, though there is a collective consciousness, there will be things that you both will, everyone will have an experience of as a collective consciousness. But how each one handles that is like having that different seat in the audience from a different perspective. So I'm just back on this before I go way off. Your emotional state dictates your life. Your perceptions, your assumptions, your attitude, your mental state, your beliefs, your ideologies, we wrap our feelings all up in that. Our feelings are entangled in all of that. And so, with our feelings being entangled in how we're dealing, the energy force is the engine, if you will. That emotional energy is the engine that allows things to become seen, to materialize. I know I'm going to have to go back on this. I know I'm going to go back. I've talked about this before, but I'm just bringing it up again to remind you. When you are emotionally hit with something, when you encounter something that sends you one way or the other, the emotions you attach to whatever that thing is now bringing something, calling something forth into your life. It's calling something forth. And it has to be of similar vibrational, it has to be a match vibrationally. So if the emotional state is, of fear and whatnot, it has to draw on that. It has to pull that like nature, that thing that's like that vibe into your space. If it's one of bliss, of joy, of happiness, then that is what will be drawn into your space. Your emotion, your feelings. That's why I say when you see something, don't inject your feelings. Handle what you have to handle. But do not give over your emotion, your feelings, because if it's not something you desire to continue to see, if it's not something you desire to witness in your life, do not give over. And that's kind of complicated. It gets kind of tough to do that because some things really hurt. We perceive the sensation as hurt. But somewhere, I'm going to do more videos to share with you how to deal with stuff that needs to be dealt with without feeding it your power, your energy, which empowers the thought, the idea, or the agenda of something that you're not desiring or aspiring to have take place in your life. So your emotion is a power source. It is your emotion. Your emotion comes from that sacred place in the heart. It is a mind of it. The heart has a mind of its own. It has a mind of its own. Your heart actually sends more messages to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. So your heart sends more messages to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. Your heart informs your mind, your brain. So that great power is within your heart. And as I said before, it is more powerful than your brain magnetically. Okay? Even the electricity that goes out is more powerful than that's in the brain. So just know that when you give over your energy, that's coming, the emotion that's coming up out of your heart The emotion is not coming from your brain. It's coming from out of your heart. It's the eternal love, the eternal force that you are giving and injecting into something that you do not desire or choose to see in your life. So before you do that, think twice what you're going to share that great power of love. Namaste. Namaste. Much love. Choice here. Peace.